of Alexis Arguello, and like the great Nicaraguan champion, Darchinyan wants to leave a lasting legacy. Already a world champion at 112 and 115 rather, he now has his sights set on Agbeko's 118-pound IBF title, and according to the Raging Bull, after he takes it, he'll go after another belt at 122.
You know, they were very coy about talking at all about the future, and understandably so. This is a very tough test for him to try and win the title at 118 pounds. But the subtext, as you said, is that they are looking ahead. But boy, he's going to have a tough assignment tonight.
Nick Darchinyan telling us that he wants to win world championships at 5 or 6 different divisions. So confident, and he feels that he is going to destroy Joseph Agbeko tonight.
And we talked about the change in Darchinyan, how he has kind of reinvented himself, become more of a boxer-puncher. He hopes to put that on display tonight, and this crowd giving him a warm welcome.
A lot of Armenian fans, Australian fans in attendance here in Sunrise, Florida. Vic Darchinyan, the Raging Bull, enters the ring, one of the hottest fighters in the world.
The champ on the ring! Open up the door more. Open it up.
Joseph King Kong Agbeko is looking to defend his IBF bantamweight title for the second time. But more importantly, he knows that this is the biggest opportunity of his career. This is the genesis of me, he told us. I'm going to beat him. I know it, and he knows it. This fight is my chance to step into the limelight.
This is the first moment, really major moment, on boxing center stage for Joseph Agbeko. He looks relaxed. He is relaxed before every fight when he enters. But how will he react to this, the most important moment of his career? 10 years into this career, a moment that Darchinyan is quite used to having, but for Joseph Agbeko, certainly the biggest moment of his boxing career.
And it's been a long road for Joseph Agbeko, coming from Ghana, making his American debut in 2007. He's trained hard, he's battled illness.
He reminds us in many ways of his countryman Azuma Nelson, who had this same exuberance about fighting and the same joyous approach to the sport, and that's what this young man has.
Agbeko telling us that he will not try to knock out Vic Darchinyan. He knows he's a good fighter. He knows he's smart. So he has to think in order to go in there with a man that he knows will challenge him.
And he's feeling that as a true bantamweight, though, he feels like he can hurt Darchinyan at some point in this fight, and he'll probably need to at some juncture. But he does believe his skill level is better than Darchinyan. Most people think that lately until they get in the ring with Darchinyan.
Agbeko acknowledging the passing of the great Michael Jackson. If you take a look at his left boxing glove, he has a white glove over it, like the gloved one used to have, as he enters the ring, representing Ghana, and most recently, the South Bronx. Joseph King Kong Agbeko. So with both champions in the ring, it brings us to the tail of the tape.
And on this tail, I would call your attention again to the height. Very important, because Darchinyan doesn't do well against fighters that are taller than him and have a reach advantage, but in this case, other than a slight reach advantage, he's facing a man basically his size.
So here at the Bank Atlantic Center in Sunrise, Florida, we're ready for our main event. Joseph Agbeko versus Vic Darchinyan. Let's get the official introductions from our announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Bank Atlantic Center here in Sunrise, Florida for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions, Gary Shaw Productions, and Showtime. This bout is sanctioned by the IBF, President Marion Muhammad, Supervisor Cato Muhammad, along with the Florida State Boxing Commission, the Chairman Ramiro Ortiz, Vice Chairman Don Bowen, Commissioners Mel Geraldo and Jim Steinecke, with the Executive Director Thomas Malloy. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Mark Gordon, Dr. Donald Weiss. Timekeeper at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Bill the Candyman Anello. And introducing to you our three judges scoring this bout from ringside, all from Florida, Michael Pernick, Mike Ross, and Rocky Young. Presenting our third man to the ring, our referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Tommy Kimmons. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Sunrise, Florida, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing red trunks with black trim, fighting out of Sydney, Australia, by way of Vanadzor, Armenia. He weighed in at 117 and 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 32 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, with 26 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, challenging for his third weight division world title, here is the former flyweight world champion and the current undisputed super flyweight champion of the world, introducing the Raging Bull, Vic Darchinyan. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with multicolored trim. He is fighting out of the Bronx in New York by way of Accra, Ghana. He weighed in at a trim and ready 116 and 1/2 pounds. With a record of 26 wins and 1 loss, he has 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making the second defense of his title. Please welcome the IBF Bantamweight Champion of the World, introducing Joseph King Kong Agbeko. Once again, here's our referee in charge now to give instructions, Tommy Kimmons.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go, Vic.
Let's go, only one.
Let's go, Vic.
Only one. Only one we get. Let's go. Okay. Go.
Gentlemen, this is the main event. 12 rounds for the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the World. And I gave you the instructions. I want to remind you, this audience is here to watch you fight, so keep it clean. Touch them up.
And the voting results: by the end of his career, Darchinyan will have won world titles in 46% say more than 3 weight classes. Very interesting.
A lot of confidence by boxing fans in Vic Darchinyan. They obviously have a feeling he's going to win tonight. We'll see.
So Vic Darchinyan, very confident, feels strong at 118 pounds. Agbeko says, this is a stepping stone for me. I have a chance to make a huge leap into the spotlight. Darchinyan and Agbeko. Darchinyan quickly across the ring, southpaw.
Interesting that Vic Darchinyan pressing the attack right away. Looking a little bit like the old Vic Darchinyan. One of the keys early in this match is whether Agbeko can get the respect of Darchinyan by landing some punches to keep him from pouring in. And also whether Agbeko will open himself up and square himself up to punches by Darchinyan.
Agbeko telling us that I will adapt to his style. If he is the bull, I am going to be the matador. Ole. Straight right hand, very effective for Joseph King Kong Agbeko. Boxer with a big punch, the lead right hand. His bread and butter, especially against a southpaw, and this is the third consecutive southpaw that he's faced.
Yeah, he did very, very well in his last couple of fights, beating Luis Perez for the championship. That was a big win for him, and then beating William Gonzalez to defend the title. There's the hook from Agbeko. You can hit Vic Darchinyan with a hook. That's what Donaire hit him with, and that's the punch that you'll need in a fight against Darchinyan.
Darchinyan's only loss coming in July of '07 to Donaire, courtesy of that big left hook. Stopped it in the 5th.
I hardly ever make a statement like this early in a fight. I guarantee you this fight's not going 12 rounds.
Wow.
I
you are
never
really going on a limb.
I never say that.
You never say that.
I don't think I've done it in 30 years of boxing. I don't think there's a chance this fight's going 12 rounds. We'll see.
Normally, Agbeko is a combination puncher. There's Darchinyan loading up with that left hand.
Both men have landed really big punches.
Oh, right hand getting through, and that buckled Darchinyan.
He's felt the power of Joseph Agbeko. Now, let me tell you, Darchinyan's always dangerous, and Agbeko is engaging him so that he's in danger.
The one flaw in Agbeko's game, quite often you'll see him leaning over, and Vic Darchinyan has a mean uppercut.
That's a very important punch potentially for Darchinyan, but Darchinyan's attacking a little bit wildly in this fight. Not as he has in his last couple fights, being a little more of a boxer puncher.
Agbeko successfully defended his title by defeating mandatory challenger William Gonzalez from Nicaragua with a majority decision on December 11th. So let's take a look at the keys to this fight.
Well, an intriguing round one for sure, and the keys are important for Vic Darchinyan. Got to keep his right hand up. He was hit with a big left hook in the first round. Combination punching important for him. He didn't do it at all in the first round. Didn't look like the boxer puncher he's become. The uppercut that Gus mentioned can be used if Agbeko leans in, as he sometimes tends to do. For Agbeko, not good to square his body up to Darchinyan. Didn't do it too much in round one. He had to make an impact early. Boy, did he ever. The right hand is good. He landed. The left is better. That's the punch you hurt Darchinyan with. Vic Darchinyan nailed with that right hand and sent backwards for a moment. Agbeko has a very good right hand. And after that, Darchinyan really brawled with him.
Darchinyan has an aggressive style, good punching power, and he's recommitted himself to being a boxer. Didn't look like that in the first round, however.
No, not at all. He has in recent fights, but in this fight, he told us before he thought he could be the stronger man and wanted to prove his strength against the true bantamweight.
Coming off a dominating performance on February 7th against Jorge Arce at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Arce suffering cuts over both eyes. The fight was stopped before the beginning of the 12th round.
I'm going to tell you something that Joseph Agbeko is doing better than he did in his last fight against Gonzalez and even against Perez. He's keeping his hands up and making it difficult for Darchinyan to land punches, and then he's exploding from that.
Right hand landing for Agbeko. Darchinyan moving in. And Darchinyan may have some blood over his left eye.
He had redness over his eye, and then it turned into a cut. You're right.
Now look at
what a toe.
Agbeko, known as a headbutter, and that concerns Vic Darchinyan.
There have been several times in recent fights where he has created cuts with his head, but right now he's creating more problems with his fists for Darchinyan.
Round 2 scheduled for 12. The IBF Bantamweight Championship. That's 118 pounds. Left hook connecting for Agbeko.
Every punch is a home run ball for each guy. I mean, they are just standing there wailing away.
Darchinyan, not known as a combination puncher. He is a fighter that normally likes to wait for that one big punch. Different story, though, for Agbeko. He normally puts his punches together, especially when we saw him against Perez.
Yeah, he very good combinations. Now, Darchinyan in recent fights has been doing that, but he's back to the destroyer mode for this fight. And he's doing what he used to do, lunging in with those punches, making himself wide open to getting hit with punches. So we'll see how that plays itself out.
Agbeko using the jab, telling us yesterday during our fighter meeting that he is going to beat the bully out of Vic Darchinyan. He doesn't feel that he's as tough as he proclaims.
You know, Agbeko is lunging in with that right hand and making himself available as a target to Darchinyan. Look, he did it right there. Darchinyan's not countering that move. There's the
left hand, good one.
Wow, that left hand by Darchinyan's as good as he can throw. Let's see if it had impact on Agbeko.
Agbeko going downstairs to the body.
There's been more body work from Agbeko than we would have thought earlier.
Darchinyan loves to paw with that right jab. It's not stiff, but it's a rangefinder. Great uppercut by Darchinyan.
Stop! Keep him up.
And now Agbeko complaining that he may have suffered a headbutt.
Well, it has been a torrid pace. There's a shoulder thrown into the face of Agbeko by Vic Darchinyan. This ring is not a place for the timid tonight. Let me tell you, now they're going to bang heads against each other, and Agbeko will feel the brunt of it. There it comes, and Agbeko complaining a bit. Oh, there it is right there. That's right toward the end of the last round. Well, a lot going on in there.
Darchinyan cut over his left eye. He complained to Tommy Kimmons before the fight that Agbeko had headbutted his last 3 opponents. And that was a concern during our fighter meeting from the Darchinyan camp yesterday.
That one, if anyone initiated it, it was Darchinyan. Not necessarily, I think, intentional, and that's kind of why he got the better of it.
Round 3 scheduled for 12. Vic Darchinyan in the black and red trunks against Jose King Kong Agbeko, the champion, in the black, red, gold, and green trunks. This is for the IBF Bantamweight Championship. Darchinyan moving up in weight, already a title holder at 112 and 115. Straight right hand, right on the button.
You know, normally you don't want to fight Vic Darchinyan short, as Agbeko is. You want to be tall and make him come in, but Agbeko is making it work so far, certainly in this fight, that's for sure, and landing his share of power shots.
Agbeko moving his head, nice left hook behind the elbow.
Darchinyan has a very good straight left hand, but he has been short with it a lot.
Both of these fighters have been swinging for the fences. Lead right hand. Very good for Agbeko as he steps back. Another lead right hand, followed by a grazing left hook. And he chopped up Perez with those lead rights.
No punching, no punching.
The left hand by Darchinyan is having really a problem landing, and Joseph Agbeko is showing much better ability to slip punches than he did against Gonzalez in his last fight, where that left-hander was able to land a lot of straight left hands. Not so with Darchinyan. Good round for Joseph Agbeko.
No doubt about it. He took the title from Luis Perez September 29th of 07 in Sacramento, smashing the champion in the 6th and 7th rounds. The referee halted the contest before round 8 could begin.
Step back. All right, let's go.
You know, Joseph Agbeko does not have a great left hook. It's decent. That punch is wide open when you get Darchinyan into the brawling mode, and he just can't throw it quite enough. But it's a punch to watch for.
It's wide, his left
Yes.
hook. But look at how Darchinyan keeps that right hand on his hip.
Don't
It's
pull it.
open.
Hey, stop. Hey, do not do that. Do not do it
But
again.
of course, the
Let's go.
Agbeko right hand has been very effective in this fight. There, Darchinyan throwing a couple of quick combinations. That's something he wants to do more of, certainly, in this fight.
Darchinyan coming in. He stumbles. Darchinyan both throwing wild punches. Darchinyan just winging away. And Agbeko standing right in front of him. And I like your prediction, partner. I have a feeling that you will be correct, sir.
No, let him breathe first, huh? Come on, stay there, breathe. Big breath.
Okay, we're not going to confuse this with Sugar Ray Robinson or Sugar Ray Leonard or Muhammad Ali. These guys are brawling. They get their feet tangled up, and it creates a spill for Agbeko. Give Darchinyan credit, he did not throw a punch when Agbeko was on the mat. Good for him. The Agbeko right hand has been there. There's a beauty. And you see him trying to get that left hook in. Agbeko understands what to do. But Gus, you made the point that left hand is very wide. At the end of the round, just a stumble by Darchinyan, not really hurt, but both men throwing crazy, wild punches. One of those is going to land by somebody and knock somebody down.
Darchinyan was a little unsteady walking back to his corner between rounds. Round 4 scheduled for 12. IBF Bantamweight Championship. Vic Darchinyan, two-time champion in 2 different divisions, 112 and 115. He's from Armenia, lives and trains now in Australia in the black and red. Joseph, King Kong Agbeko from Ghana, lives in the Bronx. He's the champion. Left hand getting through for Darchinyan.
They have the left eye of Darchinyan not troubling him too much. There's redness, maybe a little blood, but they've done a good job on that eye so far.
Lead right hand, Agbeko, as he tried to pivot and throw the left hook. And now he's pushed to the ground by Darchinyan. And Darchinyan told us that if Agbeko comes in with headbutts, he's going to use elbows to back him off. And there we had a chance to see a forearm shiver.
You've seen a couple of those in football. You know, the jab of Agbeko now has been in mothballs the last couple of rounds. He threw it just a moment ago.
Continues to score, though, with that lead right. It's sneaky. That's what you want to do against a southpaw.
He's pushing that punch a little bit from time to time, Agbeko, but it is getting there. And he's the only one doing body work. Darchinyan's not going downstairs too much. There's the hook from Agbeko, and it lands, but again, as you point out, it's a wide punch because not as powerful as, let's say, the ones that Nonito Donaire threw against Darchinyan.
But if he can catch Darchinyan on an angle, that left hook could be very effective, as you see Vic's hands starting to come down both now. He's been relegated to almost being a one-handed fighter because he's not getting very much on his jab or on his right hook.
You're absolutely right. He came in tonight hoping to land the right hand more. It's been a punch that he has landed in other fights. And the right hand of Joseph Agbeko continues to be the story in this fight. It's getting in. There's bruising under the left eye of Darchinyan because of it. Again, wow.
That's slowing Darchinyan down. And that is going to set up that left hook if he continues to score.
There are no jabs coming from Vic Darchinyan. The thing that made him special in his last 3 fights was that he had jabs, good punching combinations. He's lunging, and I'll tell you, I think Agbeko's attack starting to take a toll on Vic Darchinyan right now.
There's a nice left hand by Darchinyan, followed by an uppercut to the body, backs up Agbeko.
Going over the top of him? Okay, you need to throw the jab at the chest.
He's tired. He's tired. Anpayman kırkını yiyin.
Bring him in and use your jab several times.
Mesela ki tuyla. Anpayman kırkını.
He's not strong.
Maktan.
You need,
Maktan can. Dur. Gelemez.
you're winning. Take your time.
Araçı zerre taveli Arap. Kalisa kokis kapı. Kokisi çatıyor ne maça.
Your hand has to keep going. Your hand has to go, keep going. Sticking with the jab, sticking with the right jab, and then you follow with the left hook.
Taju Alabi is translating the Ga spoken in Agbeko's corner, which is the language of Ghana. We start the 5th round, scheduled for 12. Joseph Agbeko in black, red, gold, and green, the champion.
Victor Darchinyan went back to his amateur trainer, Vazgen Badalyan, who, of course, was speaking Armenian in the corner. And, you know, we said going back to his amateur roots, but he hasn't done it tonight. Tonight he's been a wild brawler as he was in the first stages of his pro career until a couple of years ago. They called for the jab from him, but boy, he's not thrown it much at all in this fight.
Agbeko going back to his amateur trainer, Adama Adi, who also trains Joshua Claudio. Now Agbeko starting to pick apart Darchinyan. Nice looping right hook to the body. That'll back him up.
You know, Agbeko's starting to shorten that hook a little bit, and he landed a couple good ones. It's the punch of choice against Darchinyan. Even though he's landing all these right hands, you can get the left hook in, especially when he's in this destroyer mode with the hands down, anxious to take you out.
There's another short left hook by Joseph Agbeko.
That looked like the moment Nonito Donaire knocked Darchinyan out, but he didn't quite get that left hook in there. Darchinyan came in squaring up, attacking, and was hit with a hook.
Agbeko doing a nice job of stepping off the line when Darchinyan charges in. That's the matador and the bull he referred to. Lead right hand grazing, wild left hook missing.
You know, Victor Darchinyan is always a dangerous fighter. He has power. There's no question he can hurt you at any moment. He's going to need to in this fight, I think.
Now blood coming out of the nose and possibly the mouth of Darchinyan. He's already been cut over the eye, the left eye. Darchinyan determined to win world titles in 5 or 6 different weight classes. Nice uppercut to the body by Agbeko.
He is hurting Darchinyan to the body. That is a key component now of what he's doing, and he is slowing Darchinyan down.
Rolling.
The other part of this is the defense of Agbeko. He is so much better at slipping punches than we have seen in recent fights. Much better.
Agbeko off balance. Darchinyan trying to put something together, but he's been unable to really land that left hand. And Darchinyan is breathing hard.
There, time.
Let's see. Listen to me. You'll hit him. Don't. Start with the jab, and then use your left. Pull together, take your time. Don't attack.
Go back to behind this.
Understand what you're doing? Jumping around like
Let's go.
Round 6, scheduled for 12, the IBF Bantamweight Championship. Joseph King Kong Agbeko is the champion in black and gold. Vic Darchinyan, 2-time world champion in 2 different weight divisions, 112 and 115, is the challenger. And right now the champion is really pasting Vic Darchinyan. He has a cut over his left eye. He's been bleeding from his nose and his mouth. And he seems to be struggling getting his punches off.
And great advice in his corner, telling him to use the jab and then use the straight left hand. And the big issue here is he's gone up to 118 pounds. He's not hurting Joseph Agbeko with the left hands he's landing, and he's in against a stronger man right now.
Agbeko, in his last few fights, has proven that he is a very slick boxer with punching power, well schooled against southpaws. His 3rd straight southpaw he's faced. Perez and Gonzalez, the last 2. He took the title from Luis Perez.
You know, it's interesting. I think Agbeko is giving Darchinyan opportunities to hit him. He is squaring himself up. He's leaning sometimes in with his head. Darchinyan just isn't able to be accurate enough with that straight left hand and get the punches in. Look at how Agbeko leans in with the right hand and just makes himself available, but Darchinyan just can't hit him. So there's an example.
Right, nice head and shoulder fakes from Joseph Agbeko. He told us, I'm not thinking about knocking him out. He's an experienced boxer. I have to think. Expect to see punches and bunches. He will quit by himself.
How many right hands has Agbeko landed in this round? I mean, a lot. And there's that body work again.
Stop, no punches. Don't do that.
Some bruising under the left eye of Darchinyan.
We wondered before the fight, how would Agbeko react to this moment against a very high-profile opponent? Even though he's the champion, he has reacted beautifully, obviously. Very relaxed in the ring and has executed his game plan very well.
Darchinyan has had all sorts of problems finding his range because Agbeko, he'll either step back or pivot to his left. When Darchinyan comes in, nice uppercut to the body though, doesn't phase Agbeko. Agbeko missing with the left hook.
No. Let's go.
22 seconds remaining in the 6th.
No, stop. Hey, no, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's go.
10 seconds remaining. In the 6th round, the IBF Bantamweight Championship. Good left hook by Darchinyan, and he winds up and delivers an uppercut again.
We go inside the ropes, and what is our subject matter? What else? The right hand of Joseph Agbeko. It has been the most important signature punch in this fight. He's landed it repeatedly, mostly as a lead punch. Occasionally using the jab, but for the most part, look at these lead right hands as they get in against Darchinyan. Over the course of time, they've created a cut around the left eye. They have created bleeding from the nose, and Agbeko using that punch to great advantage.
Vic Darchinyan being stitched up in his corner.
Don't try from a distance. Straight into the middle.
You're doing very good. You're doing very good.
Coming up on 3 a.m. in Accra, Ghana, the home of Joseph Agbeko, where they are watching live. He is trying to follow in the footsteps of some legendary Ghanaian fighters, Azuma Nelson, Ike Quartey,
and David Cote, all great fighters. Now, you saw the unofficial scoring from Press Row, Jake Donovan, BoxingScene.com, Carl Freitag, FightNews.com, and Santos Perez, Miami Herald. 2 of them have it scored for Agbeko. 1 has it a draw. So far, Agbeko doing pretty well in this match.
At the lower weights.
And that, of course, is unofficial.
At the lower weights, Darchinyan, though, you have to remember, has displayed a lot of knockout power. He has 26 KOs, 32-1-1 record. And Agbeko very relaxed. Great head movement, shoulder movement. Straight left hand getting through for Darchinyan.
Now, they told Vic Darchinyan, don't rush in, don't attack so much. That will only work, though, if he works from the outside, if he throws the jab, if he throws combinations, if he just stays out there and measures his opponent, nothing's going to happen except him getting hit. This is a real conundrum right now for Vic Darchinyan.
And eventually, if this pace keeps up, he may just have to throw caution to the wind and go back to his brawling style to make something happen.
Well, and for the most part, except for this round, he's been doing it. And that bruise under the left eye of Darchinyan is getting ugly, swelling up.
Cut on top of the left eye, bruise under the left eye, blood coming out of the nose and the mouth. You rarely see Vic Darchinyan playing this role in a fight.
You're absolutely correct. And against Nonito Donaire, even though Nonito Donaire controlled most of the rounds until he knocked out Darchinyan, it wasn't a total beatdown. He was winning the fight and then, of course, landed that big punch. But in this fight, he's getting beaten up right now.
Darchinyan told us he can punch. I watched his last 5 fights, but he can't hurt me. He thinks he's going to be stronger than me, but I'm sparring guys 25 to 30 pounds heavier.
Let him go. Step back. One step back.
I have a feeling Agbeko was sparring guys 25 to 30 pounds heavier as well.
Apparently. See, look there, Agbeko has found a way to slip punches so much more effectively than I would have ever imagined he would do in this fight. It's not that Darchinyan's not throwing some good straight left hands and has even landed some, but the ones he's landed have not hurt Agbeko, and many that he's throwing have been slipped. There's a beauty, but doesn't affect Agbeko.
Darchinyan's jab, Al, is not a weapon. It's a rangefinder. We haven't seen his right hook.
Watch your heads. Okay, I'm gonna get the corner back. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. He hit you on the way down. Give me the corner. 4. Hey, get back in the corner. 5. He hit you on the head. 6. 7.
Wow.
8. Give me the glove.
Standing 8.
You know, it'll be interesting to see the replay of this when we do. It's possible that that punch did send him to the canvas, even if it didn't hurt him.
All right, let's go.
That was a quick call, and maybe the right one.
If nothing else, it should give Vic Darchinyan a little bit of confidence.
Well, it could help him in the scoring, even though he clearly lost this round, so it would probably end up being an even round. Tommy Kimmons, though, saying he hit you on the way down, and he's making the decision that that's what put him down.
And that is the end of the round.
Knockdown.
And folks, the timekeeper made a mistake with the clock, an error. That was actually a 4-minute round. They went an extra minute. So we will see who's in shape.
Let me work. Don't talk to me.
We'll see where the left hand lands from Darchinyan. He had landed several at this juncture, and whether that punch, in fact, knocked down. Well, he pushed him down. Honestly, he did land the left hand, but then pushed him down with the right. So when you look at it in slow motion, and of course it's easy to, when you're looking at it in slow motion, not so easy when you're Tommy Kimmons. You know, you have to say it was a push. And there was a punch that landed before that, but probably the push is what put him down. It was very hard for Tommy Kimmons from his position to see if it was a punch or a push. And there was a punch that had landed before that. So
a number of mistakes made in the 7th round. They go an extra minute because the timekeeper became unaware of how much time he put on the clock. And then Vic Darchinyan pushes Joseph Agbeko down, and Agbeko takes a mandatory standing 8.
Yeah, mandatory 8 count he gets as a result of that being called a knockdown. And it's that's going to be tricky. Now, that was a round, mind you, in which Agbeko probably won almost all of it. So you would think no one would make that a 10-8 round for Darchinyan. They should.
Round 8 scheduled for 12, the IBF Bantamweight Championship at 118 pounds. And Joseph Agbeko telling us that if he fights well, he has no problems thinking that he can win a decision here.
Yeah, we went over that with him, and he felt that it would be fair, that he would be in a position to get a decision, and had no qualms about it. The judges, Michael Pernick, Mike Ross, and Rocky Young.
Now, Agbeko, three-punch combination. Darchinyan, though, answering.
And of course, the extra minute is when the knockdown happened. Boy, good shots landed by Agbeko. I mean, he has kind of stopped Darchinyan in his tracks right now.
That lead right hand, we told you at the beginning of the fight, that's his bread and butter. And he has been as accurate can be with that punch tonight. There it is again. Darchinyan, he's wobbling now. Or is he inviting Agbeko to come in? Darchinyan, wild punches. He may be hurt. Another lead right hand, followed by a short left hook. Agbeko in the zone. Darchinyan backpedaling.
A lot of danger for Vic Darchinyan right now with less than a minute left to go here in this round.
But does Agbeko know it? Darchinyan really wide with his punches. This is when you can get caught.
He's rushing in, Darchinyan, leaving himself wide open.
Straight left, gets through for Darchinyan.
You know, Vic Darchinyan has thrown some great left hands in this fight. Good ones, straight ones, hooks. Some have landed. They just haven't been enough. Oh, very low.
That was low blow. I seen it. Hey, come in. That was low. Go to your corner. Go to your corner. All right. Give me 5. We got time. All right. You all right? It's low blow. You good? Okay. Hey, Vic. Accidental. Keep him up. Accidental.
18 seconds to go. That gives Darchinyan
hey, time.
a chance to rest. Agbeko, he was hit low against William Gonzalez in his last fight. He didn't take the 5 minutes that he was allowed.
Yeah, it took 15 seconds in this case.
That's right.
And I think that's a mistake. I think Joseph Agbeko should have taken longer.
Agbeko standing right in there with Darchinyan. His leg's a little wobbly, though.
He got whacked with something there. He really did.
Vic Darchinyan is going to have to go back to being the raging bull.
That's what I'm asking you to do. Exactly what I asked for.
Don't talk to me. Let me laugh.
Don't back down for him at all. He's losing. Just be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Once you get underneath, try to hit the body. Once you get it.
Here is where the right hook strayed very low and landed in a very difficult spot, and there was an elbow to boot. So Darchinyan guilty of a couple of fouls in there. And at the end of the round, they were banging away at each other. And we believe somewhere in here, there may have been something that hurt Agbeko. Might have been the heads that banged together. I actually think it might have been the heads that ended up hurting him.
Round 9 scheduled for 12. This has been a rough fight. A lot of elbows, some headbutts. IBF Bantamweight Championship at 118 pounds. Vic Darchinyan is desperate now.
And in truth, if we're honest in reporting, most of those have come from Darchinyan.
Darchinyan cut over the left eye, bruised under the left eye. He's been bleeding for most of this fight from his nose and mouth.
Now, Darchinyan's left hand's been a little more effective here in the last couple of rounds, and that could be something to look for because he's a powerful man. He's always dangerous. And there's rounds left to go.
Nice left hand connecting by Darchinyan. Agbeko, though, walks right through it.
And Agbeko's punches have gotten increasingly wider, and things like that are happening, which make you believe maybe he's having some issues. Wow.
Straight left hand. Bullseye for Vic Darchinyan. Agbeko, though, not phased.
You know, the left from Darchinyan was so good, and Agbeko came back with just a huge right hand. men leaving themselves wide open to be hit.
A lot of gas in the tank of Agbeko. He continues with the terrific head movement and shoulder movement. Darchinyan doubling up the left hand. He's been using his right hand, especially his jab. It's become more effective, and that set up some things with his left.
It really has. You know, and Agbeko, remember how his hands were high and he was defending himself? Now they're very low. He's still landing big punches, but he's making himself vulnerable to punches, too. This is an interesting round here in round 9. Pretty close one, too.
Darchinyan's been getting his back into that right jab. It's stinging.
They asked Agbeko to go to the body. I think that's the ticket for him. I think that's what would change this fight unalterably against Darchinyan right now, if he could land some important body punches.
Oh, nice left hook by Darchinyan. But Agbeko continues to just walk through his punches in the lighter divisions. That would have really hurt at 112 and 115.
You're absolutely right, Gus. That's the difference in this fight. The big punches Darchinyan's landing are not doing the damage to Agbeko that they've done to the smaller fighters.
But you get the feeling that Darchinyan is starting to find himself.
And there again was the left hand. He's having a good second part of this round 9. It's a very close round still.
Remember, Agbeko, as you watch him, has a tendency of leaning over. And if Darchinyan can time that left hand, especially the uppercut, it could be church. Oh!
Oh, it's the back of the neck out.
Wachtan. Wachtan, John. Shot is the Sartenano.
You're right now. Fake him and then...
What is Micharni? What is Micharni?
You see how good they're down? Take it easy on him, man.
Wachtan. Wachtan. Okay.
Quick movement, the way we've trained.
Darchinyan landed that good straight left hand on the inside, and then another beauty. And these are examples of the punches that Gus was saying would have had a monstrous impact in the lower weight classes. And we look at the press row scoring unofficial at this point in the fight, with Agbeko slightly ahead and one has it a draw.
Darchinyan has found his momentum in the later rounds. This is the 10th, scheduled for 12, as they say, championship rounds, 10 through 12.
Well, and what's at stake even more than the reputation of the two fighters in the championship is my prediction that it would not go the distance.
Well, we still have some time.
You know, I've got my priorities straight, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Now I'm hoping it does go the distance because it's exciting and we're having fun watching it.
Good left hook by Agbeko, backs up Darchinyan.
Here's the body work by Agbeko. When he does that, it really helps him.
Darchinyan complaining about a headbutt. Darchinyan on his toes now. You rarely see him move backwards.
There's the hook from Agbeko. It's not his stock in trade. It's been available all night. He's landed it sometimes, but not a lot.
Darchinyan doing some complaining in the ring.
I don't think he has any right to complain right now. He's been the guy that has pushed the envelope in terms of illegal tactics.
Great left hook by Agbeko, a wild one that hit Darchinyan in the right eye. Now blood coming out of the right eye of Darchinyan.
Oh, those hooks are dramatic by Agbeko.
And Darchinyan holding on. He is in major trouble. He has a gash on his right eye as he pushes Agbeko down. But that's Vic Darchinyan.
You okay? Come on, I know it's a headbutt.
Saying that he was headbutted.
Well, if it's a clash of heads, accidentally, then if this fight were stopped, they would go to the scorecard after this round. Clearly, you can't say it was intentional. I don't believe you can. But if it's accidental, they would go to the scorecards, and that would be interesting.
Stop, stop.
The Darchinyan camp complained yesterday and in the locker room today about headbutts. Lead right hand, backs up Darchinyan by Agbeko. He's got blood pouring out of his right eye, and he's got a cut over his left, a bruise under his left. Darchinyan takes a right hook to the top of the head, comes back with a straight left hand. Another straight right hand by Agbeko. And these two, nuts and guts right now. "20 seconds to go in the 10 championship rounds on Showtime, the IBF Bantamweight Championship. King Kong against the Raging Bull."
They're living up to their nickname.
They certainly are.
Time. That's it. Headbutt, headbutt.
Angelo Hyder is the cut man for Vic Darchinyan.
Relax and breathe. Just breathe, buddy. Just breathe, buddy. I'll do my job. Breathe. You're in good hands, brother. Hey, you're starting to box good. You're going to knock him out if you start boxing good.
Box properly, brother. Boxing properly. Overbox.
Breathe deep, relax yourself. Box smart.
Give me that one.
Big, we still got to fucking win every round. Breathe deep.
Pull together.
Okay, brother. Take it easy. Just take it easy on him, man. Overbox him, Vic.
You need to box with this guy.
Stay here. Just breathe deep. Sit down. Sit down.
Go down.
Breathe deep. Listen.
Let's go. Take us out.
Tommy Kimmons telling the fighters and the judges that Darchinyan was exposed to an accidental headbutt by Agbeko. 11th round scheduled for 12. This is the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the world. 118 pounders. Agbeko the champion in black and red and gold. Darchinyan in black and red and white.
Darchinyan stressed about what he thought was a low blow, and Agbeko really bullying him in this round. The corner of Vic Darchinyan, there was a lot of chaos in there, dealing with the cuts, a couple of languages going on there, and there was a lot of, it was a tense moment in there. They haven't been in this situation too often either. Darchinyan has had 4 knockouts, wins in the championship rounds, knocked out Jorge Arce in the 11th round. He's had 2 11th round knockouts. He might need that to win this fight. We don't know how the scoring is going. We've seen the unofficial press scoring, which had Agbeko up by a little. That's unofficial from press row. And Agbeko's landing his share of shots in this round, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Darchinyan, though, continues to fight battered, bruised, and cut. And Agbeko looks like he could go 25 rounds. He is in tremendous shape. Weighed in at 116 and a half. Actually, he was lighter than Darchinyan, who weighed in at 117 and a half. Darchinyan weighing in at 127 this morning.
I think if Joseph Agbeko has made one mistake in this fight, and he hasn't made too many, it's that he has not gone to the body enough. I think that would have really helped propel him in this fight even more.
And that controversial knockdown could play into the scoring.
That, of course, was a push that we thought looked like it at first might be a knockdown in a round in which went 4 minutes, and it was in that last minute that was inappropriate where the knockdown happened. But Joseph Agbeko's taken control of this round.
29 seconds to go. Agbeko calling Vic Darchinyan a stepping stone, which would give him the opportunity to step into the international spotlight. He's been waiting. 8 seconds remaining in the 11th.
Come on, don't pull him down. Let's go. That's it.
And that is the end of the 11th round. 1 more remaining.
Watch the ice, watch the ice. No ice. No ice. No ice.
It's the last round.
Let's go for it. Make sure we win this round. Throw your left knee into the body and uppercut. You haven't thrown it at all.
Go for the liver, please.
Vic, everything. We have to win this round.
Don't let him bully you now. You get him all right. You get him all right. When he's standing in your way, throw your hand. Throw your hand. You can't see it.
Your 12th and final round for the IBF Bantamweight World Championship. King Kong Agbeko versus the Raging Bull, Vic Darchinyan.
Darchinyan is 2-0-1 in 12-round fights, and Agbeko is 3-1 in 12-round fights.
Stop! No, don't hit behind here. Come on, let's go.
And the 7th round knockdown, we would refer back to it again, could have a big bearing on the scoring here. Oh, big right hand downstairs by Agbeko.
Darchinyan swinging for the fences.
Break!
Moving up in weight from 115 to challenge Agbeko. He wanted to fight the best as he moved up.
Don't push, let's go.
He got it tonight. You know, this has not been a great artistic effort by either man, including Agbeko. But they've both shown toughness, and Agbeko has shown some skill level, to be honest, that's a little higher than Darchinyan's in terms of defense.
Oh, and that straight right hand has been lethal for Agbeko. He's landed it time and time again this evening.
Break clean. Now that.
Darchinyan with no answer for it. A minute and 30 remaining in the 12th round.
If Joseph Agbeko had a shorter and more compact and better left hook, he would have knocked Vic Darchinyan out tonight. That punch has been so available.
Darchinyan going to the body.
And we don't know how this fight is going to be scored. There have been a number of rounds that were certainly close enough. Darchinyan has landed some good straight left hands, though I don't think in terms of volume he's landed as many as Agbeko.
Let's go.
But we'll see.
The early portion of this fight controlled by Agbeko. Darchinyan coming back in the middle rounds. And the late rounds, anybody's guess. 43 seconds remaining in the 12th and final round of the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the World. From the Bank Atlantic Center here in Sunrise, Florida. There's the step back by Agbeko. Darchinyan's timing has been thrown off since the very beginning of this fight.
There was a use of the head by Agbeko. That one was more blatant, but also there was a big right hand landed. Wow, this has been a rough and tumble fight on every level.
Darchinyan going for broke at the end of the 12th. Agbeko giving no ground. And that'll do it.
We know who Joseph Agbeko thinks won.
There's no doubt about who Joseph Agbeko thinks won this fight. Trying to make his second successful title defense.
Hold on.
Vic Darchinyan stepping up in weight from 115, moving up to 118.
We don't know yet.
Taking a risk.
Here, the boss. Right here. Let's get done. Let's get done. You did it. Yes. You did it.
Joseph Agbeko hugs his promoter, Don King.
This is a crooked referee. It's the worst I've ever seen. You did it. You did it anyway. No fair play at all. No fair play. The worst I've ever seen. Yes. Unbelievable. In everything. I've never seen it like this.
That's right.
Well, I guess we know what Don King's opinion of Tommy Kimmins is. This is what King and the folks in Agbeko's corner are referring to. This is in round 7. When, number one, the round had gone too long. It had been more than 3 minutes. And then that's where he was pushed down, and it was called a knockdown by Tommy Kimmins, who thought that there was a punch that had knocked him down. Obviously, that was not so. And that could have some bearing, clearly, on ultimately how this fight is scored. Agbeko really shocked at that could be called a knockdown, and letting Tommy Kimmins know.
Right now, he was fighting two opponents.
Two opponents, that's right.
He was fighting two
opponents. And different.
Well, we're ready for the decision. Let's go inside the ring. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Rocky Young, scores the bout 116 to 111. Judges Mike Ross and Michael Pernick both score the bout 114 to 113. All three in favor of the winner. And still champion Joseph King Kong Agbeko.
Joseph King Kong Agbeko retains his IBF Bantamweight Championship with the unanimous decision over two-time world champion Vic Darchinyan.
It was a very gritty